Yes.
All right, good evening, y'all. All right, so I guess we're gonna get this meeting started. It is 7 o'clock, and it's June the 27th, 2024. This is our special session, so we'll start off with invocation.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we pray that we feel your presence during this meeting tonight and that you will guide us as we strive to make good decisions for our city. We're grateful to be involved in useful work and pray that you will grant us the wisdom to govern and to respect the needs of our citizens. Father, remind us that we are stewards of your authority and that it is our job to help build a community that is worthy of every citizen that lives here. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill to all. And may we find new ways to lead our city and move in the direction of progress and prosperity. Father, just please watch over every one of us as we go about our daily lives. And may we feel your unfailing grace and strength throughout the days ahead. We ask all of these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I didn't have any sheets for citizens input for agenda related items. Because there's some that was filled out and maybe didn't come up. Okay. So that'll take us to number 6. Discussion and or take action on accepting the resignation of Mayor Jim Turnbull.
Skip announcements.
Okay, I did. Did anybody got it?
You skipped it.
Anybody else got any more? I think what happened, I put my glasses on after I read that. So,
I guess we need to announce Jam Fest is going to be on July the 6th at the park.
Yes.
For any of you all that wanted to come to the Planning and Zoning Committee meeting on July 4th instead of enjoying the holiday, we don't have a meeting. There's no business in front of the committee. So I'm sure that just breaks everybody's heart.
What are the hours of the Jam Fest, do you know?
They said that, okay, I've heard 2 different things. From 6 to whatever time, they were going to have a beer garden that started at 2, but the last I heard was the beer garden was canceled. So I believe it's from 6 on then.
Yeah, I think it actually starts at 5 o'clock. Yeah, it starts at 5.
Anybody else got any announcements?
John?
I
Yes,
want to
sir.
introduce my newest officer to the team. Step up here, Kevin. This is Kevin Vernon.
Nice to meet you.
Kevin is not messing around with his
It was
body
kind of
here.
quiet for a second.
I was waiting till you introduced yourself.
Nice
Nice to meet you.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
So that means we have 3 now.
Yes. John, no more awkward silence. That was weird.
Now, I did just hear, talking to Michael, that the fire department's gonna do a controlled burn, I guess, a training burn this
You're
afternoon.
doing it right now at City Park.
So, I mean, I don't know if that probably didn't make it out into any kind of pages or anything, but maybe if people are watching, they'll know that that's what's going on. The smoke, the park's not on fire.
At the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the point, but just in case.
We do plan to open the point tomorrow in the afternoon hours, probably 1, 2 o'clock. And then, of course, it'll stay open for the rest of the weekend. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we're going to close it again so we can go back to working on the point. We have a lot of machinery going around, so we don't want there to be any accidents or injuries with people coming and going. So that's all we got.
I'll just announce this. So with the help of Kevin and of course Mike and Chris and the fire department and several others, we've got an initiative to clean up the whole extra section leading down to the fishing area and the point. So over the next coming weeks and months, you're going to see lots of brush cleared, lots of canopies raised, trees cut that's appropriate that the SRA will let us. We're going on a drive to collect funds and donations for different things in the park. Mary would love to talk with you offline about some of the stuff I'm doing. And so thanks for everybody that's getting involved. A lot of work has already been done, and we're super excited about what the park is going to look like at the end of our big project.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other announcements? Now we can move to.
Yeah, I'm glad you went back to announcements.
Now we can move to number 6. Yeah, we actually have that one. All right, so number 6, discussion and or take action on accepting the resignation of Mayor Jim Turnbull. I think everybody on the council received the resignation, correct?
We just need to make a motion to accept.
Yeah, I mean, no?
It's done. It's effective. Under the election code, after 8 days, it's effective. So there is,
We don't need a motion.
So,
Can it be read to the public?
I guess it could be. I don't have it with me.
I do.
You can read it. I'll read it. Some of it. You're reading it.
Dear council, please accept this letter of resignation effective immediately. My doctors and family members alike have convinced me it is time I retire and enjoy the beauty of this great country has to offer. We have accomplished great many things over the past few years, and you've made it possible. I'm so proud to have led the progression and hope you share the same pride. I will always make myself available should you have any questions or concerns. Your turn. That was
Thank you,
sent.
Kim.
That was sent on Friday, June the 14th at 3:40 p.m.
I personally would like to say I did enjoy working with Jim. I was able to talk business things with him, and I enjoyed having him on the team. So I appreciate what Jim brought to the table, and it was a good experience for me.
And I will just say, for city council, for our community, Jim was very instrumental in helping us with a lot of things that were going on in our neighborhood. He always made himself available, was always very giving of his time. And for that, as a citizen, I truly appreciate the work he's done. And I do know prior to him coming on board, we had lots of issues with our budget. I mean, the budget's certainly not perfect still now, but lots of things got put in place. And so for that, I appreciate his time and all that effort he put in.
One more discussion? So that'll take us to item number 7. So that's discussion and or take action, appointing Mayor Pro Tem, myself, Kevin Featherston, as acting mayor and appointing a new Mayor Pro Tem. So I've spoken with Lee, I've spoken with Kim on this. I know Kim was going to try to do some reaching out today. I have spoken with some council members on it. There's some of you guys that came to me. The one concern that I have is the vote that the citizens have elected me to have. And I feel like if we make a decision and tell the citizens that their vote didn't matter and we take that vote away up until the voting for the mayorship in this town, which is coming up in November, a short while away, that would be one thing. But then in talking to Lee and talking to Kim, I also want to do the right thing for the city. And what that means is if we were to put me as mayor tonight, right, and say the vote goes away and that's how that goes, well, then I think the plan was to leave place 1 open. Well, everyone knows that I am planning to run for mayor for this election. So therefore, place 1 has a year left on its term. What we were talking about, and we haven't found this out yet, was rather than the city having to pay the cost and all the expense and all go through all the roads to do a special election for place one, because, and this is just me in discussion side of this, I feel like it's right for us as a council to let the citizens decide who sits up here, right? I mean, we're all citizens as well, we all vote as well. So it's only right to let our citizens make the decision of who is up here doing what we're all doing, rather than us make the decision. There's gonna be times, yes, absolutely positively, that we may have to make that decision. But what I'm saying is, if there's a way for us to allow the citizens to have that decision, I feel like that's the best road for us to take. I don't think you were able to get into contact with anybody.
I did speak to, the legal department and elections. The guy was kind of wishy-washy about things. He told me what he was quoting, and I printed this out, gave me a copy. But he's gonna email me what his thoughts are. It'll be tomorrow.
So there's that. I mean, that's discussion. I mean, the table's open for discussion. You guys heard what I said. I mean, what's everybody else's thoughts?
So are you saying that you don't want to move out of your council seat? Is that, I mean, that's what I'm hearing, right?
I don't want to do that and lose the vote. If the citizens ask me to have.
Is there a way, just as an acting mayor, that we could have both?
Yeah, I mean, he was,
Without the
voted.
mayor pro tem, just acting mayor?
no, he's as mayor pro tem, if the mayor fails, resigns, something like that, mayor pro tem steps in to perform mayoral duties,
Yep.
okay? But he is still in his council seat, okay? So he would be performing the duties of the mayor while sitting in the seat, which would maintain his voting position, okay? So yeah, he can do that, until we have a mayor.
So we have a number one and a number two, but we're gonna be missing number one for 5 months.
That is number one.
Number one
Okay.
is right.
Because I'm saying seats, not seat numbers, so that's why I was like,
No,
okay.
I'm just saying, is it fair to the citizens not to have a mayor for 5 months?
I've seen this done the way that Kevin is describing before, okay?
I'm not saying it can't be done.
Right. I can't. Okay, well, we don't give it to that. You know?
In my mind, just think about it, I'm really surprised because I was wanting to have fun and make you laugh. In my mind, we elected him as the mayor pro tem. And if something happens to the mayor, I think they automatically should move up. It ought to be a law. I know it's not, but it ought to. And so you can't, I don't think you should leave the city without a mayor.
With
And
your
mayor pro
current
tem.
job, do you have time to do the duties of mayor pro tem?
And so, back to what I was saying earlier, I would like for us as a council to make sure we've done our due diligence in order to see if it's possible. And I'm absolutely willing to move completely into the mayor's seat, given the fact that it will save the city money and we can put place one on the ballot in November, right? We will have to know this within the next couple of weeks in order to make sure we tell the public, hey, place one is going to be on the ballot, so people can show interest to run for that.
So here's, the rule is, that is not quite the rule. As it stands right now, with only one vacancy on the governing body, you can appoint. And you can do it in a staggered appointment system, okay? Y'all can vote for Kevin to become, or anybody, whoever, to become the mayor, okay? And then, as soon as that appointment was filled, or that office was filled, then you could appoint I don't know what seat you are, place one, okay? Then you could appoint, staggering it, a place one, okay? There is no requirement at this point for a special election. One of the things that we were discussing is whether or not it would still be a special election almost no matter what, because you already have 3 seats coming available and his is not one of them. So yes, you have to order it and notify the public that you would be having an additional election. The question becomes whether or not if any additional cost it would incur and at what point we had to order the special election, okay? It's like if we if the people who are going to apply for the other seats, that period closes, and then we turn around and realize, okay, we also want to do the special election, there's a delay, there's a delay that happens, and that could cause the county clerk to have some difficulty having to wait on, like, ordering ballots and stuff like that, and they would very likely charge you for any delays, okay? But if we had time, and it wasn't gonna be an addition, yes, we could do it, probably for limited additional costs with public notices, if we knew enough in advance. Okay, I doubt that it would be significant if you were to do over the election at the next meeting, like regular meeting, do you have much additional cost other than, like I said, public notices? Okay,
And
But by the
that's,
time we organize all that, let's just say July is gone because of the holiday, that rolls into August, and we're looking at November of when the actual election comes out.
July's not gone, because we're gonna have a meeting in July.
But no, too, if we're having a special session for a new vote,
that's not.
a new election,
No, what you would do is you would order, it would be on the next agenda to order, and anytime, we have to still do it, I mean, we have to have one anyways to order the regular election, yeah. So we're already gonna have to do that, we would be basically saying we're also ordering the special election, okay? That, like I said, the question is, at what point, if we don't have to, we can. And at what point, if we delayed in any way, what the cost would be.
So it would make sense to table this one.
I think it makes sense to make it a mayor. Because you're gonna run out of time.
what's the hesitation of being mayor pro tem and keeping his city council seat? I just want to make sure.
But we don't have a mayor.
But he would be
He's
acting in all mayoral
the only one in
duties.
charge of the city. He's the only one working up here. We won't have a mayor pro tem at all.
You know, my concern with that is, and I was sitting here thinking about it, is we're coming up on a budget hearing. And if we don't have a mayor in place to conduct the meetings, or a pro tem to step in if something happens to you, can we still have a meeting lead if we don't have, you know, if he were to step up as mayor?
Well, I mean,
and-
you've got additional problems, right? If, you would, listen.
But it does say in here that
Yeah,
if the mayor and the mayor pro tem is absent from the meetings, any council member can
They
hold it.
can, okay.
I mean, you've got other problems that, like Kevin walked into, like got hit by a truck kind of thing, which we're immediately would happen. Sorry.
I mean, that's what we're looking at. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, you've got immediately now two vacancies on the, and you have to order. It's a shall. You are ordering a special election immediately, okay? But no, there is no issue with him serving as pro tem. He basically just does everything the mayor does, okay? That's the reason that you vote on the pro tem, is so that in absence of a mayor, they become functional.
I think Chris understood when you said, because just to give enough time for enough homework to be done and information be given to her, and then basically have that answer by the July meeting.
I'll second that. I'll second it.
In 2 weeks, which is in 2 weeks. So was there a motion made?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to table it till the next meeting.
Chris made a motion to table item 6.
I do ask with the missing body means more to keep us more involved, more information to us.
That's the other problem we have. Right. Is we don't get any information. We only know what's going on when we get that back. You know, there's no,
But it's through the month.
and you know.
We've all had the conversation. We want more information. You know, citizens come to us. To me, what I've read, the mayor should be feeding that stuff down to us. So I'm hoping to get more of that from you. Whether it's something weekly, you know.
Well, I guess that would be a conversation for a different time.
Yes.
Or whatever, and we could have those conversations individual person too, because every person's gonna want a different thing.
Yeah.
Right, not everybody's gonna want the same thing, not everybody's getting faced with the same question.
Yep.
So, okay.
So July 9th is our meeting, so
Right.
that's when we're tabling next week.
So you had the motion made by Chris, seconded by Robin, that we will table this from now, and we will have it back on the July 9th meeting with answers, how it will play out for the election. got, votes on that?
You start.
You
You,
Oh, yeah. I didn't feel right voting on something that had my name on it. So I think I will abstain. I just don't like voting on something that's got my name on
I'll vote for it. Yes.
Jack O'Connell.
Robin Myers.
Chris Burkett.
it. So you got 4, and 1 abstain, which is myself. Okay, so that takes us to item number 8. Discussion and or take action for setting a workshop for accepting updated job descriptions for city administrator and city secretary. The table is open.
Are we gonna create these descriptions or do you already have them?
We have it on from 1993, so we're revising it.
Have we done, we're gonna revise them? Or have you
Well,
already done, have you
we're
already
gonna-
done some of that?
We're doing our revision of what we currently do, and then we're gonna send them out to y'all and say, here they are, tell us what you think.
Okay.
So we're voting on a workshop for
Yeah.
revise what y'all are putting together.
Yes.
All right, I make a motion to approve.
We just did today. Yeah,
We have an old one.
Yeah, we have an
Like
old
it's
one
really
that we
old.
kind of tweaked.
And I have to ask, the purpose of us writing is not only to help you, but is there something else in mind that we're thinking? Maybe entering into a discussion about hiring a city administrator or something like that? Is that the purpose for us? Not just that, but to give it for you, but for us to be able to do that in the future if we want to do that sometime?
This item
Well,
is-
I mean, y'all asked me to put it on the agenda, so
Right,
that's why we started together.
right.
So,
I'm gonna just say to you guys, just in general, a city secretary is a statutory position. The job descriptions are pretty well defined, okay? There's not much you're gonna do on that. The city secretary is, this is not a home rule city, but you can kind of think of the city secretary like the city manager, right? They're the person who's top of HR. They're gonna be, directing payments, directing things in the city for day-to-day affairs, okay? That's why you want them, okay? That's why, but they have a lot, they're your conductor, okay?
Yeah, the only difference for us would be the city administrator, who's currently we don't have a city administrator, which our city doesn't require us to have.
Right.
We're required to have a city secretary.
Right, population.
So the only thing, and I don't think there's actually a statute on the administrative side of that. It's sort of,
No, and that's whatever you guys, that's why I don't know what
So
everybody's.
why have we always had one?
how we
I
have-
mean, we've had one ever since we've lived here, and I know decades before that, so I mean, why is it considered unnecessary now?
It's just-
yeah, it's probably, we had one for all those years because somebody created it.
Right.
To be honest, I mean, I wasn't here all those years.
I wasn't either.
None of us were, right? But I mean,
Either.
It's, and I don't know what the city administrator role was in the past. It's possible that you guys subdivided that role between some of the other ladies in the office. And so the reason it doesn't exist is because that job was parceled out to other people.
And I've been told too that since we voted to go into contract with Fundview, that there's gonna be a lot of work taken off of some of these girls in the office because there's different pods and things that you can plug into if you need them. But I still have to remind somebody to oversee that though. And I don't know, would that be the role of the city administrator or would it be, who would do that?
as state statute
I know we're
reads,
kinda
it's a
going off
city-
track here,
it's-
but-
Well, no, it's,
No, I mean, that's-
you're right in the same conversation. The way state statute reads, that would be the city secretary's position with our city. The city administrator is sort of it was an, I think you may have said it, it was an added position somewhere down the line that somewhere stuck to the wall, for lack of better words.
Okay, so city secretary is set in stone,
We have to have a city secretary.
right, and the job description is what it is. Are we reviewing, helping y'all with job descriptions for the other offices?
I would like that because I have not been able to find job descriptions for any position in the city, other than what I find on TML.
We want to line out what we do currently.
Yeah, so y'all,
We're kind of writing what we do, what
okay.
the girls do.
And then when do y'all get onboarded for the new software?
Hopefully, we're gonna start in July.
In July, how long is the onboarding process?
Say it takes anywhere from 60, 90 days.
Okay, so then let's just say 90 days from now, we would then look at your job descriptions and see what's been peeled away. Ideally, okay, so with that said, is there a need to do the job descriptions right now? Or would it make more sense to do it once y'all are fully onboarded to the new software and then we see really who is doing what and what has been peeled away?
Everything.
Everything could change.
Everything could
It
change.
could change, yeah, unless it's a little bit more generalized and kind of the functions are still, some functions will still be there, there will still be some oversight over the functions that are being used in FundView. There still needs to be a human aspect.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
But
We
maybe some of
understand
those
this, yeah.
tasks would be taken away.
Yeah.
And that's just how you guys
So
want it.
I heard you say you're
Flatline.
working on it.
Yes.
So again, this sounds like something to table, giving them a chance to finish onboarding that, finish going through what they have before we start looking at a workshop here.
Well, I was just gonna have y'all plan the workshop, that way y'all can go ahead and get the job descriptions we're gonna have ready.
Okay.
And y'all tweak, and then during the workshop, y'all can say yay and nay,
Okay.
take this one, or
So
whatever, however y'all want.
So you're proposing that to happen 90 plus days from now, after y'all have been onboarded with the software?
I mean, days that.
And then if
more
that's,
than that,
if that's not y'all's goal, just tell me, I'm just.
That would be fine, because
Okay.
that'd be at the beginning of the budget year, and we can kind of see where everything's.
Okay.
everybody is.
When do budget talks start?
We're supposed to start end of July.
We'll probably start in the end of July. That will be something we'll discuss in our
Oh, I
meeting.
know, but I just wanted to know if what she was saying, if we waited till all that starts happening.
We gotta get them going. But I mean, I venture to say we'll have on our July regular session meeting, we'll have a line item that discusses.
Okay.
We will be setting dates for our budget workshops. I mean, to be honest, we almost need to try to get one into the end of July, but
We did
we can
last
make
year.
that,
and
we
the
can
year
have that
before.
discussion.
Okay. Well, personally, that makes sense. If they're in agreement, then I would make a motion to postpone this.
Do you want it brought up to be able to set that workshop on the October meeting? We could bring it up in October. That'll let us know where we're at with FundView, because if I remember, they said October, November timeframe, we should be 100% live.
Just
So-
depending on how long the migration takes.
So if we say October 14th is going to be our regular session meeting.
No, the second Tuesday is the 8th.
October, oh, it's eight, you're right. Yes,
Well, figure you're around.
eight. You're right.
All I did was open up. County
Yeah.
So you're gonna have it on the 8th agenda, right?
So what am I now amending my motion to? We're gonna table it
To
and pick a
October
day
8th.
in our
October, yeah.
at our October meeting, and then we're gonna have a workshop.
I'll second that.
Kevin Featherston,
Jack O'Connell.
Robin Myers.
Chris Burkett.
motion made by Jack, seconded by
Ron.
Robin, all in favor. Okay, so that takes us to number 9, discussion and or take action on council member packets being sent electronic.
I make a motion that we do that. I think it's overdue.
So we need to, well, let's make sure we talk about it, because for the current council right now, everybody may have a device that they would be able to use. We're gonna have to think about that in our budget workshop for our technology fund, and we may have to put a little bit of money in there. I think currently in conversations, everybody's got something that they can use for the moment. I'm good. I think everybody's good for the moment, but just to make sure we all remember when we're doing our budget workshop, that we had some technology money because other council people that come in, they may not.
It would be smart for the city to own those devices.
Yeah, and we need to get them, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think we'll probably have to make do until budget
Yeah.
workshop to put that money in there. So,
Kim, I mean, are y'all prepared for that? I mean, it's not, is it gonna be more, it seems to me to be less labor intensive?
It's gonna be beautiful.
Okay.
well, I mean, they already have to print something from a computer, yes, ma'am?
I figured, but just wanted to double check.
Is there any concern over the security? Did you send the packets just as a regular attachment, or would you send them in some kind of encrypted fashion? I don't know what your packets contain, if there's any sort of confidential information.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I believe in Outlook. Yeah, they can use an encryption function, sending it through.
I would think it would probably be, what you want to say, that you send it online, but they would be sending encrypted.
That's,
I was gonna ask that, thank you for asking that, Sharon.
I mean, and for all intentional purposes, it doesn't necessarily even have to be sent, it can be put on a flash drive. So,
I think that might
That's
be
the
more
same
risky.
Yeah, you're constantly chasing flash drives.
So why don't you
You
post
could
the
constantly
agenda?
be chasing, things in the wind too, on papers that we all get. Think into that, but like you said, if you post the agenda online,
Why don't you post
We can
the
all
agenda?
track.
It's open. There's nothing.
Not necessarily, sometimes we get contracts that are, and things like that, and that's what.
yeah, there's things that sometimes that are redacted.
Board information, things like that. or-
I don't know if we're set up this way, but the alternative, if we have a server and a VPN, would be able to log into the system. I know we have a server,
We
but
can check
it's,
with IT because we are cloud-based, so that might be a good question for IT to find out if there's a way for us to dump this onto our cloud and give council members a
Yeah.
access to
We
the
just download and go.
So let's do two things. How about we check with IT to find out if it can be put on our cloud and we give council people access to it.
There's probably a way that they can send out links
Yeah.
with a password.
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
And then if that's not the case, we need to make sure that we are sending this encryption. Somebody make a motion.
I did. I made a motion to.
Yeah, the links would be great. So I'll set,
exactly, and like each time you can give them passwords, and like what Mary can do is send the email with the link, and then y'all can say, actually, this it's a weird facet of technology, but you never want to email a password, you actually want to text it, because your phones are typically more secure. So you could then like text out the password every month, but do it individually, because otherwise it's wrong.
all right, so Robin made a motion. I will second her motion. The motion was for us to go electronically. We will check into making sure we're secure doing so, right? So I seconded and I say Kevin Featherston, yes.
Jack O'Connell.
Chris Burkett.
So motion made and carried across the board. So now we're at number 9. I'm 10. I want to get paper. I don't think computers work.
Oh, no.
So, let's do this. So, any citizens' input that is non-related to the agenda item? Nothing? Going once, going twice? Nothing? So that takes us to number
Make a
11.
motion with her.
I second that motion. This may be the last time I get to do this. Kevin Featherston.
Jack O'Connell.
Chris Burkett.
Depends on the next meeting.